fun live today. We're just going to have a little bit of fun. We got, let's see here. Mike's here. What's up, Mike?
What is going on? You hear me all right?
I got you, man.
Cool.
And we got Ronnie.
There he is.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on? You hear me?
Hey, Ron, I miss you, man.
Ronnie's got an entire bag of putters behind him there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the new bag. Forget the new bag.
Love that new vessel.
So sexy.
Thing looks
it's
good.
It's so clean. It's so nice. Oh, big fan.
The thing looks good.
Shout out to Vessel.
For sure. All right, so what we'll do in a few minutes, we'll take everybody's questions and some questions start to roll in. We'll give everybody a second to kind of jump on. I want to do a little Friday Q&A. We had fun with that in HQ just a couple of weeks ago. Now it feels like a month ago. But I wanted to talk about this first. Mike, you put together a little piece on Golficity today about when these tournaments are supposed to be starting to be played again.
Yeah, let me pull that up because
the rumors are coming.
It was like a glimmer of hope. Hopefully it's true. There's a lot of fake news out there right now, unfortunately, about some of these statements regarding, like, first it was the Ryder Cup was canceled, and then they came out and said it wasn't. Yeah. And then they said the Open was canceled recently, and then the Open came out and neither confirmed or denied. I love when they say, we neither confirm or deny. All right.
Yeah.
So
thanks for nothing, right? Yeah, thanks for nothing.
Thanks. Which means they're denying. I mean, let's call it. I mean, because if they weren't denying, they wouldn't have said anything.
Exactly. Yeah. So right. PGA Championship so far, they're saying now August 6th to the 9th, potentially, at TPC Harding Park, which is the original venue out in San Fran.
My birthday.
Is it really? Interesting.
Yeah, August 6th.
Dude, I'll go anywhere after this is over. The Open Championship now is still deciding, like we said. If they do postpone it, it's possible they'll play it September 17th to the 20th at the same venue, Royal St. George, which would then kind of screw us over here in the tri-state because the U.S. Open has been postponed with the target date to resume it at Winged Foot on September 17th to the 20th if the Open cancels. Does that make sense?
So it's like everybody's got to quickly rush to send out their save the date. Like who gets the who gets the precedent here if they both want it on the same week? Why do we get bumped?
I know. They said if it does get canceled, I'm sorry, if the Open does happen in September, then the U.S. Open could possibly move to the late fall to a warmer venue like Torrey Pines or Pebble Beach, which then moves it out of our backyard. But
yeah, but you know what? I'm going to call BS on that because there's just, what it's like. First of all, just any PGA Tour tournament, what it's like to get ready, let alone a major.
The is insane. Yeah.
Yeah, let alone a major. It's not going to happen. I don't think that they could get a place ready in time for a major in just 4 or 5 months. Not only just like the grandstands, the structure, but like the permitting, to get the parking, everything like that, and all of the TV broadcasts and everything that goes on in that. I just can't imagine that you're going to have a change of venue that far, that quick, that happened, just that short in advance. I mean, they've got the venues planned for the next couple of, U.S. Opens going out how many years for this reason?
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah, they're planning for 2022 right now, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that long logistically, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can't see that happen where they change the venue last minute to somewhere else. But anyway, I cut you off. So
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, remember we were talking with the folks out at Whistling Straits about coming out there in June, and they didn't even really have the grandstands up yet, and that was February, with what is it, about 8 months? No, 7 months to go. So they probably could get stands up and go. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's just. I just think that's just one aspect of it. Here,
it is just one.
We got some of the questions going. Ryan Donovan asked, so "What about the Masters being moved to October?" I know you're kind of getting to that here.
Yeah, so that was rumored to happen in late fall, November 12th to the 15th at Augusta. Obviously, that venue's not going to change, but I mean, I don't mind that. In November 12th, I mean, golf is dead at that point anyway. So, like, I'll take a Masters like pre-Thanksgiving. I mean, that's kind of cool.
Thanksgiving
right?
at the Masters, yeah.
That's awesome.
A turkey tradition like no other. And then we've got We've got the Ryder Cup, which is no change because they're so late in the year as is already scheduled for September 25th to the 27th. So they're probably going to hold on to that for as long as possible. But I don't even know where this world is going to be in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I mean, we're going to be wearing face masks and gloves all the way through August. I just have a feeling we're going to become a germaphobe world. And until there's a pill or a vaccine, I don't know. It's just a question mark, really.
Well, the question I have is if, let's say they do this and Masters season effectively becomes August through November, you think there'll be spectators or you think they'll just play the events?
Yeah, that's a good call too. I mean, that's the first step. I heard Mark Cuban on an interview the other day saying that would be the first step to get sports back is get the players on the field or the court.
Right.
And the spectators would come slowly later on down the road. But at least it gets the sports going. It gets sports gambling going. It gets kind of gets a lot of that economy going again. So
it gets us all off TikTok.
Yeah, right.
We've all been spending a little bit too much time on TikTok.
I'm done with trick shots. Unless you can completely wow me at this point. I mean, you gotta be jumping off a roof or what is something at this point.
Here's the new thing. Here's the new thing that everyone's going to start doing. Philly Bookett, my buddy, my guy from the show, from my episodes, right? So Philly Bookett, he literally sent me about 20 videos of him missing and not being able to make it. I think that's the next step for the trick shots is not showing that you make it.
Right.
Showing you missing
showing the fails
all the way through and how ridiculously hard some of these are.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's pretty funny. I can't watch it. Come on. Like, it's time. It's time.
It is time.
Yeah. Well, let's throw in the comments, guys. In the comments, tell us, are you sick of the trick shots or do you want to see them keep coming? I tell you what, I continue to be impressed. We posted We posted one today. You see that kid who bent that ping pong ball around the I love to somebody comment and be like, it's not that hard to spin a ping pong ball, and like everybody's immediately like, all right, then do it.
Right. Do it into a cup.
Yeah.
First do it and then do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw
His
that
reaction was classic. That kid, he must have been doing that for 14 days. And he finally nailed it. Yeah.
By that reaction, he's been doing that forever. I immediately tagged Zach Radford as the first person I thought of with that because he does that with a real golf ball. And I'm like, dude, you have to see this. And he's like, that is sick. So we'll see. I'm sure they'll keep coming. But yeah, so I mean, going back to the tour and everything like that, I think that it will be the next step is where we'll start to see where some of these events might be played without spectators, if no other reason, at least get the crowds down. But we're still talking about, even you just talk about players and caddies, it's still a fairly large gathering. I had also heard a rumor, I don't know if you guys heard this one going around a little bit, that the size of the fields might be expanded when the events come back up to kind of just get guys to have more events in. Did you hear anything about this?
I did not hear that. Haven't even thought of that.
I'm not even sure. I'm not sure even how you work it because I'm not sure how you work like who qualifies for these. Every event, kind of has different qualifiers. But
how would you decide? Like the number of players isn't going to put anybody at more risk.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is just more so like so you can get more guys getting FedEx Cup points and things like that. But then you have other ones like the U.S. Open where you've got the qualifiers. We talked last Friday a little bit with Kevin Sprecher, and we were talking about that, about what they were doing because they were canceling a lot of qualifiers. So how do you how do you qualify for the Open? He said they were moving to just regional from nixing the local ones. But I mean, if we are going to have the U.S. Open and that time frame, September, I got to think that they're going to have to start doing the regional qualifiers again sometime, I don't know, late June, July?
That's one of the great aspects of the tournament.
Right.
Seeing the amateurs. I mean, that's like one of the best parts of it.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
You got to qualify to be in it. So, I don't know. It's wild. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some questions rolling in on YouTube right here.
Yeah, let's see. I'm not seeing the YouTube comments here. So if you see them, throw them in there. I'm seeing the
JZM
Facebook
says,
comments.
yes, JZM says, yeah, I hear they're considering extending the field. So it is out there. The idea is out there, that's for sure. Let's see what else we got going on here.
Well, we had Lanto Griffin on the podcast. You guys are going to see that on Sunday. We spoke with him Wednesday. And we're trying to, even those guys, they don't know. As far as like, we're trying to get any type of inside track about when this thing's going to be back. He said so far he was hoping for Colonial.
Yeah, a friend of mine texted me. His father lives down in South Carolina, I think, or something. And he saw Kuchar on the range, and I don't know if there was a conversation had, but my buddy who texted me and said Cooch is looking to gear up for the Colonial, which is kind of what had me thinking to ask Lanto about Colonial, but he said it before we did.
Yeah.
So that might be the target right now for a lot of these guys, but again, nobody knows anything.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
But how, go ahead, Ron.
No, I was going to say I can call my buddy Patrick Reed.
Yeah, give him a ring. That's your guy, man. That is your guy.
That's my guy.
Number one Patrick Reed fan.
That's it. I'm him. And give me all the heat. I'll take it all from my buddy.
He loves it. He's a big fan. But that conversation with Lanto was actually really, really interesting because you'll see it when it comes out on Sunday. Here's a guy who won this year. Yeah. He almost was like out of a job, and it just shows you how your life can change on the PGA Tour with a couple of good finishes, including a win. And he was humming, man. He had like a lot of top tens, and all of a sudden your season just gets shut down on you. It's like,
yeah, Mike, what did he tell us? He said he was like, maybe it was like 2 years ago, he was $40,000 in like credit card debt.
Credit card debt. And I'm sure he's paid that off with his win at the Shell Houston Open.
Dude, that's just it. So much respect for these guys on these mini tours. You got to think about it. Oh, yeah. Those guys are paying their way. You know what I mean? They're effectively, they're just looking for that win to try to, like, I guess, put some money back in the account, but they've got to travel. They've got to live. So they're living on like debt or whatever, or maybe they get a sponsor who helps support them a little bit, but it's just insane. It's insane. But then that win changes his whole life. Now he's got a 2-year exemption on the PGA Tour.
And I think an invitation to Augusta too, right? Isn't that like automatic?
I think, yeah. What is it? If you won in the last season, that's one of the qualifying events, I guess.
As well as next January's Tournament of Champions. So like if you win on the tour, not only the money, a little bit of fame and you get the exemptions, you get the invites. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty.
Maybe we should comb some of these smaller tournaments, the leagues or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Try to pick up a couple of these guys early, help them out a little bit, send them some stuff, get them to represent Golficity out there, and then when they hit it like he did, boom!
Yeah.
I love it. That's
put the G on the shirt and rock and roll.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's just a matter of picking the right guy.
That's
right?
just it. That's just it.
Gotta get a couple scouts out there. We're gonna start watching them on the radio.
We gotta get a couple scouts. We'll send producer Jeremy on the road.
Yeah.
Either that or Ronnie scouts the Corn Ferry Tour. I would watch that.
Oh, that would be so much fun. So much fun. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, some people are saying I like that idea, Ronnie. So keep the ideas rolling.
It was probably Jeremy that said he liked it.
Yeah, because he wants to get out there on the road. That's for sure. But I tell you what, I won't tell you the whole conversation because I want you guys to tune in and get to see it on the podcast. But the other thing too that Lanto was saying, which is so true, he's like, you got to look at, like we're saying, like how tough is it that this hits you right now? You know what I mean? He's having a career year. The guy's got a bunch of top tens. He's got that win in Houston. And all of a sudden, they're shutting everything down for whatever it is, 10 weeks or whatever it ends up being. And he said, I got to look at the bright side of it and realize there are a lot of guys who are in the situation like I was in just a couple of months ago where they don't have any wins. They've got no money. They've got no whatever. And now they've got to support themselves, and they're effectively unemployed. So,
right.
Hey, Ronnie, Duke K asks how your diet's going.
It's going fantastic. The kid is down 22.
Even in quarantine, huh?
Quarantine, wow.
I'm eating nuts. Look at
nuts, dude.
Nuts. Healthy fats.
I'm eating entire frozen pizzas at like a clip, man. Power to you, man.
Yeah, no, things are working. We're feeling good. A little bit more energy. I'm about 382 pounds I got to go, but we're gonna get there.
Let's see if I try to understand what this. Hold on, I got a question here. Pag Golf Vlog says, guys, should the Masters put on a highlights package with 2020 commentary on Golf Live as something to lift golfers' spirits? I'm not 100% following that question, but one thing that's been lifting my spirits at least has been the what do you call it? The fact that the Masters YouTube channel replays the full final round of every Masters going back to, like, I think it's 1968.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, man. You got nothing to watch in the evening. Cool. Throw on one of those. Maybe start with 97.
There was a message on Facebook about tonight at 7 on ESPN2. They're showing the Tiger documentary. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Yeah.
But that's always a good one to catch up on, man. I think we watched that at HQ not long ago.
The other one that I've been watching are the Wide World of Golf replays. Have you seen any of these on YouTube? They're terrific. The other day I watched Ben Hogan versus Sam Snead.
Yeah.
Match play. You got to see this thing, dude. And the graphics that they were using back then, I guess that was in like the late 50s or whatever. It's just hilarious. But they've got, who was it? Byron Nelson, and I forget who he was playing against at Pine Valley.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to go through and watch these.
What year was that?
These are like in the 60s. And wait,
great.
you got to, like, listen, you got to respect the drone work, right? Because they do have flyovers. They must have had somebody dangling from a helicopter. This thing is so shaky, and they're just trying to fly over these things. It's like that helicopter from the opening of MASH. It's just flying over, and they've got a guy hanging from it with a camera. There's no stabilization. Hilarious how far it's come.
I have to check that out.
Gary says Jack versus Arnie was brilliant at Pinehurst.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, these things are great. You got to go back and watch some of these things.
I got to stop playing Call of Duty, and I got to start watching these.
There you go.
Sal says, any update on the SMA fitting with Sprecher? You know, it was supposed to be last Friday, but obviously postponed. I think the minute that we can get back out there, it's just going to be one of the first things that we do. I mean, I even joked and said, you know, if Sprecher can grab his TrackMan and grab a whole bunch of wedges and meet us on an empty field somewhere, and we all just stand far apart from each other, you know, just to get it in. But obviously we got to be responsible. So I think we'll probably do that once the coast is clear. It's going to be one of the first things we do.
That is definitely one of the first things.
Michael Nardino, the Tiger King is like a train wreck and you can't look away. Totally agree. I'm like totally addicted, and it's like a 6-part series. So I got one more to go tonight, and I think I'm done with it.
I'm holding out.
You're holding out still?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet myself either. My wife watched it, and she's just like,
it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird stuff, man.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. But that's what's been holding me over on YouTube are those match play. And it's hilarious, too. I mean, you think about it, these are the top names, like Ben Hogan and stuff like that. They're playing for like $5,000. $5,000. And the winner gets, I think, 3, and the loser gets 2. Can you imagine?
It's like a match of me and Philly booking.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what you and Phil are doing nowadays.
Meanwhile, they played one round of the players, and I think, everybody took home $70,000?
Yeah.
It was something like that. Times have definitely changed. That's for sure.
Frank, I wish you were the one to pronounce this name because you would destroy it. But
here we go. What?
Diarmuid? Am I saying that right? O'Brien. He just says hi from Ireland. What do you guys play off?
Here's a guy who makes fun how I pronounce things and then just can't pronounce this name.
But you would be so much better.
I would be worse. I will give you that I would be worse, but
I think it's Diarmuid. Diarmuid O'Brien. Diarmuid O'Brien. That's right.
Listen, quit while you're ahead.
I know.
You should have just said D. O'Brien.
Yeah. D. O'Brien, what do you guys play off of? Well, the last recorded round, I was in there at a 12-9 handicap. Frank, what about you guys?
I'm going to check it right now. I love this new Gin app. I can tell you that I haven't entered a score this year because this has been, it's been a sad.
Oh, so yeah. Tell me what your score went from, and then what it is now with the new.
Here's me right here.
What was it on the old system last year?
11.5. I don't remember what it was before it switched over. I was in the 11s, 11 and change. But who knows?
I was at 12.9 before I went and got my Apex Pros, and then it ballooned up to about a 13.9, 14.4, right around 14. So I'm assuming that's kind of where I'm at now, but I can't wait to get these new Wilson C300 Black Ops conditions on the course.
Loves those looks.
You better be ready because Philly Book It just chimed in. He said that's chump change. Book it. He wants that $5,000 bet.
I'm
Yeah.
in. Book it.
Here's a good question. What are the chances of the Tiger Phil match happens? Anybody want to take a shot at that one?
I don't think that's going to go through. They might be breaking all kinds of rules and catching a lot of heat for it. But I love the idea of playing for charity if they can get it off the ground. A, it gives us something great to watch. B, it gives, obviously a good give back. But I don't know. There's probably a lot of red tape right now with everything, travel. And
they talked about having like a team, right? They were talking about Brady and Manning playing with them.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw somebody post Obama and Trump playing with the two of them. That would be epic. But obviously not going to happen.
I think a Trump-Obama heads-up golf match would be a gangbuster ratings. Oh, my God. Even non-golfers would watch that. Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I don't know. I would love to see it. Honestly, at this point, forget the high production. Look at this. We're doing this thing over Skype, right? I'd say grab the phones and stream it live on Instagram. Give Tiger and Phil a phone. We saw what's his name do it. We saw I watched that whole lefty match with JT and Ricky, just on Ricky's story.
Right on Instagram.
Yeah, That's all we need. Just get somebody out there. We need 3 people. This is still social distancing. We'll get Phil, Tiger. They can carry their own bags, and we'll get somebody to walk behind them and stream it on the iPhone.
Let's not get nuts. They're not carrying their own bags. Let's not get
I
crazy.
bet
make him carry.
Tiger will never carry his own bag. Give him a push cart. That would make it
there
even
you
better.
Go. Tiger, push cart mafia, Tiger. That now there's something where I'm already ready to tuning into.
Pat Golf Vlogs is cracking open a beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Too early for that.
I got a nice coffee, man. Cheers.
Yeah.
Here.
I got something in this container that no one's going to know about.
5 o'clock. That's a big container too, Ronnie.
It is.
Later. Arizona has open courses. Hey, Duke, New York actually has we have open courses right in our backyard. And they have their very specific rules to go out there and
There's very
one
few
person
though,
per
Mike.
car. It is very few, but I can name 1 or 2 right here that we have that are staying.
Are they breaking laws? You think, or are they
No, they're not. Apparently, there's one course that we play quite often right up here, and I was talking to the head of golf there the other day, and he said, they're on a community where there's the golf is in a bunch of houses, so this community. I'm not going to blast out any names, Frank. You know what I'm talking about. It's near you,
Yeah.
It's a Jack design. They have the people were calling the cops, and the cops came. And then when the cops came, they were saying, we're following all these rules. We have, this, that, and the other. And they said, yeah, you're right. And they left. So,
yeah.
And that's what bothered me is that parks are open. Like a lot of parks are still open. I'm sure it changes every day, but parks have been open, and it's almost like a golf course is a park. Golf really promotes social distancing more than anything. And I know in North Carolina, they deem golf courses like critical infrastructure, so to speak, so they're allowed to play golf as a recreation during this thing. So it's funny how everything varies.
They did that in Vegas too. They put it right in the law. They put it right in the law that it was allowed. But it does vary, and that's honestly, I would love to get you guys' opinion in the comments, because that's been one of our biggest question marks. Is we're trying to walk the balance between doing the right thing responsibly. We don't want to look like we're being irresponsible. Like, we've been home, we've been doing all these from home.
What?
But like, if we were to go out and play, is it a bad look?
Let me paint the picture a little bit more. So if we did go out, let's say Frank and I went out and we played a challenge match, and we both had our own DSLR camera, and we were respectable, far apart from each other, and filmed it.
We're usually on opposite sides of the fairway anyway.
We are. We pull hook versus the slice, you know, so it doesn't matter anyway. Would you guys be upset with that? I don't know.
Yeah, I've been watching some of the other guys and like on the YouTube comments, and it's just like they're dragging them for being out there. I don't know. Can't tell. Oh, here you go. Benz is in here now. He said Bethpage is open. Wasn't Bethpage open and then they closed? I thought they were open and then they closed for some reason. Not sure. Adam says that Skyway is open.
That was a great course,
open
Ron.
at least.
We got to get you down to Skyway. Have you ever
Ron,
played
we
it?
had a
No,
good
right?
question coming for
I
you.
haven't played it, but I know producer
Yeah.
Jeremy did last week, I think.
We had a good question coming for you, Ron. Davis Reed says, "What's your favorite hole from the World Tour golf links in Myrtle Beach?" You say he checked it out after your podcast, and he said it looks
Cool.
beautiful.
I mean, the Island Green is great. I mean, any one of the Amen corner holes, but it's got to be. There was one of them. Actually, I believe there's two of them from Pine Valley. So it's being new. There was a lot of New Jersey courses there that were. It was pretty cool. The Pine Valley one.
There's a lot of great Jersey golf, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But thanks for checking out the podcast, first of all. And second of all, World Tour put it on the list of things to do. It's reasonably priced and a phenomenal experience. It's really cool.
Yeah, we're gonna get down there one day too. I liked D. O'Brien again from Ireland says that all the courses in Ireland are closed. We actually had a great interview the other day with Gavin over at ShotScope, who lives out in Scotland. And Frank, you were like, because all the courses in the UK are now officially closed. You're like, when was the last time the old course was closed? World War II?
I mean,
think
seriously, the old course without a tee sheet, it seems like an impossibility. But I don't know. Wasn't it even
nuts.
open during World War II? Like, weren't they still playing? This might be like the only time.
It shows you how crazy of a world we're in right now, man.
Yeah, I'm just reading through a lot of people the UK, obviously all the courses are closed. A couple of people saying here and there. I think somebody said PA, all the courses were closed. I think it's
5
just hit or
Westchester
miss.
courses are open.
Yeah, hit or miss. So
Not really concerned about for your safety. Keep your health first. That's great. So a lot of people are saying like, we wouldn't really mind if you go and played. I mean, you guys might be just craving the content, which is great because we're craving making it.
Well, we've been lucky that we've got so much of those one-hole challenges that we had in the bank, so that we could keep you guys at least somewhat entertained while this all goes down.
I'll play in a hazmat suit on, double gloves, and a mask. It might be pretty funny.
That could be pay-per-view,
Yeah,
Ronnie.
definitely would.
That could be pay-per-view.
That's great. You should build a backyard golf course.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I do have one back there, and we were toying with the idea of doing a challenge back there one day. So
I couldn't fit a mini golf course in my backyard, but hey,
you got to knock down all those trees one day, and you
knock some
could.
trees down.
I had to do the same.
I got room. I just don't have the
blessing.
The ability. Well, the blessing. I don't know how long I'm going to be in this particular house, so I don't want to invest that type of money in the backyard.
Yeah,
unless I knew I was going to be here for the next 10, 15 years,
Come on.
I'm not going to build it for somebody else to enjoy it.
That only increases the value, Ronnie. Come on.
That was the next thing I was going to say. I'll sell the house even quicker.
Yeah. Brady asked, when golf is back in season, you guys should play a PGA Tour style match. I mean, I think it was Jeremy was talking about we should create like a Golficity tour where like all of us at HQ, like we got our own, standings and like our own FedEx Cup playoffs, and we can get really creative with that. I mean, there's enough of us now, working for the company there. So who knows? Maybe we can get that together.
My dream is still to do the annual Golficity Cup. And I think we could do that. I want to do it anyway around the Ryder Cup in the fall anyway. So I think we could do that, get everybody out there, and we'll do like maybe a multiple round Ryder Cup style, winner takes home the cup for the year type of thing. So
I think it's great.
Yeah, that could be fun. A lot of fun.
D. O'Brien asks, he keeps asking, what were your handicaps at 15? I'm assuming he's asking your age, 15.
First of all, I'm loving that you're just abbreviating his first name now.
Yeah, I'm done with trying that one. I wasn't playing golf at 15. Frank, I think you were just starting golf at 15, right?
Yeah, just starting. I don't even think I had a real established handicap at that age. We all kind of started to golf a little bit late. When did you start playing, Ronnie?
20 in college.
College, that's right. Yep. Ethan says the courses in Ontario are closed. Fortunately, it seems to be that's like the rule more than the exception.
Ugh. What else we got? I mean, what are some things you guys want to do when we get back? I mean, we have, obviously, Frank, you and I, we had a lot of stuff scheduled that has now been postponed. So that's probably first priority. Like Pinehurst has been postponed.
Yeah.
The meetup, the Philly meetup, which was sold out, was tonight. So we're bummed about that.
It just burns us every time we think about it.
But there it is. There's the 5-iron hat. We were going to 5-iron golf in Philly. Big shout out to those guys. Those guys are great. We can't wait to do those meetups. And I think, like we were talking about yesterday, we're gonna end up doing all the meetups, but they might just be like bang. We might just go to Philly, to Chicago, to Baltimore, back to New York. We might just bang them all out in one shot.
Yeah, get a tour bus, do a real thing.
We should get the tour bus.
I'm scrolling through these comments. There was one here. We were talking about the let's see. We were talking about the tournaments, and Duke says you guys should do a tournament for the fans. I love that idea, and forever I've wanted to do some sort of at least like maybe regional, like a couple different events where we could kind of, I don't know, get like 40 people out in each place and just play a tournament, like a Golficity type of classic open type of thing. I would love to do that. It's just a ton of coordination. We might have to find somebody who can put that together just because our schedule is so wild. But I've been wanting to do that for a long time.
That would be kind of fun.
Hey, here's Seb. Really Seb's cool. Here. What's up, buddy? Can't wait to take you on in that WGT.
Yep.
If you guys haven't checked it out, go to Seb's channel, Seb on Golf. He's going to be doing a whole WGT virtual golf. What's he calling it? The Quarantine Classic?
No, the stay-at-home tour.
The stay-at-home tour. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So we're gonna.
There's so many great names it could have been, right? As well.
So many.
I like stay-at-home.
Look,
tour.
Seb says, "Be careful what you wish for." You're right. I am the last guy on earth who should be talking any type of WGT garbage, because I'm terrible at it. But yeah, you guys gotta check it out. Seb, he had a little match versus Rick the other day. And the matches are going to be picking up soon, so you guys are not going to want to miss that. That's for sure.
Hey, speaking of Rick, I actually dove into his recent video he put out a couple days ago where he built a simulator in his garage.
Uh-oh. And he was spending money? Is that what you're telling me? Spending money?
Yeah. He was humble about it. He said, I had to pay for it. He bought it. He bought a thing, and he showed us how to set it up, which has got me excited to get eventually back to HQ to get ours up and going, which obviously has also been postponed. But it was cool to see him do that, and it was cool to see it come to life. And I love how you boys call it the garage. I'm going to start calling my garage the garage. It's awesome. It is so cool.
This is coming from a guy who has signed every email with Cheers since we went to the UK last summer.
Cheers is one of my favorite things to say because it could mean so many things. I don't know. I just think it's great. I love how they say it. I mean, Andy Proudman sent a note today about, possibly doing a live with those guys next week, me and my golf, and he signs everyone off with cheers. And now when I send them back, I say cheers as well.
So just cheers back and forth. I got you.
Cheers.
Seb says he wants one of those simulators. I don't know, Seb. I saw there's some room in that garage. I think
Does he have the height, though?
I think he can make it happen. He put a pretty sick little putting surface in there, that's for sure. Let's see.
Speaking of me and my golf, that was a close match.
It was close.
Right? The bracket golf bracket.
That was Mr. Short Games bracket challenge. Yeah, that was fun, man. We almost took the one seed.
Well, I was upset I didn't promote. I just assumed. I was like, come on. I think even you said it, Mike. That's going to be a tough order. Like it was the chances of us pulling that off was slim. But oh my God, we gave them a run for their money.
Yeah, we definitely did, man. It was close. Yeah. And thanks for all the votes, man.
Yeah,
everyone. Yeah. You guys are great.
I started scrolling through all of them. I wanted to start keeping track. I wanted to just double check the results. So I was going through all the replies.
I checked some, and I saw a lot of Golficity. It was really great to see.
Absolutely.
Smile on my face.
We need a rematch. That's what we need. Let's see.
Can you guys talk about what golf?
What got us initially? Question is, what got us initially hooked on golf? I think we all have different stories. I mean, to give the elevator speech, Mike. What got you hooked first?
For me, it was business. In the business world, in a commission-based, client-focused business that I'm still in, and a lot of it was taking clients to golfing, and I just became obsessed with the challenge and the quest to get better at such a hard sport. And then with that came all of the other things with it, like the traveling and coming to new courses. I mean, it's funny, Frank, you posted a photo in the Facebook Golf Podcast Facebook group, which is free, by the way, if you're not in it, of, post your best golf photo. And you posted
from last year. Yep.
From last year. And I kind of just went I went way off the page here. And I said, you know what? Instead of posting a photo from last year, I'm just going to post a photo from way back. And I went back to the Golficity's Instagram account's first ever post in September of 2012. And it was a picture of the par 3 at Rockley, not Country Club, Rockley Public Course.
Yeah.
And it shows you like, where we started and like we at these scrappy courses, and I used to wear windbreaker pants with like just out of like regular sneakers. I didn't have golf shoes. And then like to start like getting dressed in the golf gear and just becoming obsessed with the sport. I mean, that was it for me, and just took off from there.
There you go. Ronnie, what got you started?
I'll give you the short condensed version because it's a very long story. Check it out on the first episode of Inside the Leather. But anyway, it's my mom. She sent me. I transferred from college in Pennsylvania where I was playing football. I transferred down to coastal Carolina in Myrtle Beach. My mom said, "You're in Myrtle Beach. It's the golf capital of the world. You might as well learn how to play golf." She sent me a set of McGregor's graphite shafts, and I was hooked. I was bartending, so I knew a lot of the people that worked at the golf courses. So they would come in on Friday night. I'd give them free drinks. They'd give me free golf. And then in my classes, I took 2 or 3 of the kids off of the coastal golf team and asked them, I said, listen, I can get you on these courses. You want to teach me how to play? And it was just from that point forward, it's been a huge, huge part of my life. And I'm pissed at my parents for not like golfing when they were like, introducing me to the game when I was little, but they didn't golf.
There you go. Hey, a follow-up question. Paul asks, Italian combo or chicken parm?
Oh, I go depends on where, because I've had some terrible Italian combos. And
let me guess, did they have pickles on them?
Yeah, dude, I like a good pickle on my Italian
combo.
No,
you don't. Get out of here.
That's how Blimpie used to make them like that.
Oh, my God. Blimpie.
That was way back. I don't think I've been to Blimpie in 10 years. It depends, but that's a tough call, man. I could shout out places that have amazing chicken parms. What do you got?
What's your call? It's the Italian for sure, especially if you're getting it from Sparrows. Okay, number 1. Number 2, I love chicken parm. Don't get me wrong. I don't like it on a sandwich. I like it on a plate with a big old pile of spaghetti or fettuccine or some angel hair underneath it. I want it with pasta. I don't like it when it gets on the bread. Give me the Italian all day long.
Hey, Paul's follow-up is mayo or just oil and vinegar on that Italian.
No mayo on Italian for me. It's straight up oil and vinegar.
I'm gonna get a lot of kickback from my family members on this, but I like putting both on.
There you go.
I like putting a little bit of mayo, a little bit of oil.
I do both on other sandwiches, but not on that. Yes.
But I do it on everything. It's fair, which is why I look like I did. Did you see? Oh, real quick. Did you see Heinz came out with a new ketchup and mayo twist? It's the combination.
Good for that. Because I make it for my burgers. So.
I do too, but now
I'm stirring it.
You don't have to make it. Yeah.
Listen, we got to stop talking about food because I've been eating nothing but God knows what in this house. Oh, my God. I mean, I guess I'll round it out. My story, how I got involved, simple. My father started playing the game when I was young. Just kind of go out to the course, following him around. And then what solidified it with me was watching the 1997 Masters with him. And just Tiger, it just gave you like this shining beacon of what it could be. And then after that, like every kid in the world at that time who played golf, we all just tried to be him. So I just played it, and that was it.
And you witnessed one of his hole-in-ones, right?
My father? Yeah, I got to witness one.
Cool.
And unfortunately, it's the only hole-in-one I've ever witnessed because I do not have any myself. But it's coming. Maybe that'll be the silver lining to 2020 is we'll get a hole-in-one somewhere in there when we get back out on the golf course.
That would certainly help.
Somebody appropriately, Sauce Master asked, and we're just talking about asked, how did you guys meet? Well, Mike and I are cousins, and Ronnie just joined the team recently. And in fact, we're putting together a little video, Ronnie. You haven't seen it yet, but a little backstory of how Ronnie joined the team here.
Yeah. So we'll answer that pretty soon on the channel.
Yeah, that one. Stay tuned for that because it's a funny story. It is a funny story.
Frank and I met at birth for the most part. When after I was born, because I'm younger. Got to throw that at him.
Yeah, thanks.
John Snyder, what's up, guys? John's the guy who got the Golficity tattoo, so big shout out to him.
Yes.
Yeah, respect. Yeah.
They're still saying fake news on it, John. I don't know, but I've
seen the pictures. We've seen the pictures.
I've seen the photos. It's real.
He's got to follow it up with an inside the leather on the other cheek. Or wherever he got it. I don't know where he got it.
On the other cheek.
I like how he just assumed it was on, Yeah.
All right. What do we got here?
If he puts the inside the leather ball on the tee with the microphone, if he gets it tattooed, I'll get one with him right next door. We'll do it side by side wherever he lives.
Wherever he's Jersey guy. He's a Jersey guy.
Oh, beautiful.
Wait, Phil just said book it, Ronnie.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm
actually,
I'll put the number 73 next to it too.
John's doing the Ironman, which is probably going to get canceled, but he was looking for another partner. So there you go. You got a buddy there, Ron. You can play with.
There we go.
Are you and Jeremy? I just talked to him about this the other day, Ron. Are you and Jeremy doing the Ironman this year? If it happens,
the registration was the deadline was a couple days ago when he called you, and me and him both want to do it for sure.
Okay.
I haven't asked my wife yet, but
John says that tattoo's on his calf. It's on his calf.
Okay. All right. I don't want to go on his calf. I want to go somewhere else, but it'll be funny.
He said he will tattoo you. By the way,
he's a tattoo artist. That's cool.
Yeah, he's a tattoo artist. By the way, that Ironman, just to let you know, Frank and I were in the parking lot at 4:30 a.m. and I think we got home at around 9 p.m.
It's a long day. It was. Yeah.
Wife is gonna have an issue, but it's for the channel, babe.
That's it.
Content.
Now we just gave you a great excuse, Ronnie.
That's fantastic. I love
it. The quicker you get her to understand content creation, I mean, I was trying to convince my wife the other day to go film some content right now, even if it was by myself, like go to a course. And she said to me, she's like, I understand. I know you need to get the content. So she gets it. She's like, but just be safe. So the quicker you get her to understand.
The timing of this corona, this is like really bad for me because, now my wife understands Golficity now, the podcast. She knows that I'm going to have to get out there more. But I can't, and I can't get out. I'm stuck in this house. I'm losing my mind. My chicken putting is going to be improved. Which
we're all gonna have great short games.
I think post-corona, my handicap's gonna go down. I think I got a big feeling.
Maybe you'll put your second hand on that putter.
No, never gonna happen. I'm telling you.
Ryan asks, how much was that Ironman tournament? He wants to do it next season. I don't remember the exact number. Maybe Mike does, but I will tell you it was. You remember 300?
I'm guessing, but I'm pretty sure Jeremy had mentioned it was about 275, something along those lines.
Yeah, all I remember was that I still think it was a great deal because what'd you get, Mike? You got breakfast, you got lunch, and you got to play 3 of the Crystal Springs courses, which I think
that's a pretty good
Ballyowen by itself that time of year is like $190 or something, right? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get your money's worth. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, for that amount.
Yeah, I think
3 rounds, the food, and the experience.
Oh, I'll get my money's worth on the food alone. So I'm golfing for free with this Ironman.
Yeah, for sure. Frank, did we even hang for dinner? We did, right?
We
ate like real quick and got out of there.
We dipped because it was getting really late. That thing was still going. We stuck around for some of the speeches, and then we were out of there. But I think it's a great thing to do at least once. It's cool to be done with your first round. 18 full holes by it was like 10 o'clock. And I like they mixed up the format, so it was pretty cool. I mean, it was. I would do it again. It's all just the time restriction. It's just the fact that it's probably a 14-hour day. Yeah,
it's pretty long. We got Louis Tolber from Ohio, big longtime fan of the Golf Podcast, also an Army member in the Facebook group. Says, Mike, Frank, and Ronnie, what's up, fellas? Ronnie, how do I get your podcast to listen to? So, we can get it anywhere, right? YouTube, Inside the Leather.
You can get all that stuff in the Golficity app.
Right there in the Golficity app there, Lou.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't downloaded the Golficity app, it's free, and then if you turn your notifications on, you'll get a push notification every time a new video or podcast drops.
And Ethan just said the same thing. He just said Inside the Leather on YouTube or the Golficity app. Love it.
Maybe we just give Ethan a job. Look, he just took care of that for us.
Hired.
You're hired. That's great.
Speaking of hiring, Frank, you want to talk about our new quest here to bring on some new talent or some new voices?
Yeah. We're gonna be putting this out this weekend, a little bit more information. But our goal, as you maybe have heard us talk about before, is really to expand Golficity, and we want to bring some more interesting personalities to the brand. Ronnie being a key one of them there. It's just we're looking for more personalities to the brand. We want to have people who have something that they want to say, something that they can contribute. Obviously, I use Ronnie as an example because he's been great contributing some really fun stuff to Golficity. So stay tuned for that. We're going to put out some information this weekend on social about if you feel like you could be a good asset to the team, if you feel like you've got something unique that you can add, especially to the Golficity website. We're looking to bring some more writers on, more bloggers, but we're going to be putting out that information.
And you don't have to live in the area. I mean, you could be remote. I mean, you can create content remotely. We could, do stuff remotely, but we will be getting that out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, look, we started Golficity all those years ago with the one sole purpose of creating the type of content that we wanted to see. And then saying, look, if there's other people who enjoy golf and have similar sense of humor and personalities to us, they're going to enjoy it too. So that's just it. We want to create more. We want to see what you guys can come up with. So we're going to be putting out that information. So stay tuned. Keep an eye out for that.
I know Philly Booker is losing his mind right now. He's trying to think of ways how he can get involved. I know it.
I love when he's on your podcast. The dynamic between you guys is great.
I was gonna say that, I would like to make it like a scheduled thing where it's like one a month, or get him like a standard slot so that he could help
absolutely
more.
Plus he's got that new custom bag.
Yeah, he's feeling good about it. He's feeling real good about it.
I bet.
What else we got here? Philly.
I see a Davis message about that internship requirement. Yeah, just message us, man. We're always interested in hearing more. Well, like I said, we'll have all that information. If you guys just stay tuned to our social stuff, we're going to drop some information on it this weekend. We're just finalizing some of the details because we want to make sure it stays organized when all the requests start coming in. So.
Brian, are you guys sponsored by Titleist? Or they give it? Yes, we are sponsored by Titleist. We work with Titleist. We create content for them. Love working with those guys, as well as FootJoy, ShotScope, 5
especially
Iron.
Right now. Like,
I'm a free agent. Though.
Ronnie's a free agent.
He's shooting his shot with Wilson. There you go.
I am. I'm all about Wilson. I'm excited about playing their club. It's old school. Me and my man.
So wait, you did what's the word I'm looking for? An audition tape to work with us. Yeah. So I would love for you to put together a spoof on Castaway with the Wilson.
No, absolutely.
Oh my God, I love this.
Could you imagine Ronnie like shirtless with the long hair and the beard, right? Right, with like Wilson golf balls. I don't know. I could just see him coming up.
If that doesn't get Wilson's attention, nothing will.
Right. At the PGA show down in Orlando, when I went into the Wilson booth and did their Pro V1 versus their dual soft core, whatever, their ball, right? I did back and forth, and I turned to them and I said, "Listen, you're Wilson. Why don't you have the Castaway Wilson on the ball as a commemorative, whatever? I'd buy them all. I think it would be such a cool ball to have." So, yeah, Wilson, come on. I got ideas, Wilson. I got ideas.
He's got ideas.
He's got ideas. I love it.
I will. I'm going to do that. An audition video for Wilson. I love it. Yes. Castaway. Fully. Oh, I got to find a beach, though.
You could do a quarantine take on it, like quarantine away. Like,
come to my house and do it in the sand trap. That'll be perfect because then as we zoom out, that'll make it more hysterical.
Hey, Phil wants you to do the tooth scene where he pulls his tooth out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We got here we go. Ben asked Ronnie, "Are you going to plan on doing some course vlogs like Mike and Frank?"
The funny thing, yes, 100%. I've been out I've played about 2 or 3 rounds now with producer Jeremy, and I gotta say, guys, it is not easy. It is so hard because you're not filming every shot. You're trying to give content. You're trying to play golf. I'm losing money to producer Jeremy while I'm trying to give. It's not easy, but yes, I'm trying to figure it out. So
it's not easy.
And
Frank and I doing this long. We actually have specific like inside like joke names for different camera shots and stuff. Like we just know. We've got specific. Yeah.
Here's a good question. Ryan Donovan asked if we would start doing some club reviews if we get the chance. Well, I would actually like to hear from you guys. Would you guys like to see us do that type of stuff? Now, with this caveat of being, we tell you guys all the time, we are not professional golfers. We're not golf instructors, right? So I feel like there's a lot of other, YouTubers or creators or whatever you want to call it who do an incredible job of doing detailed club reviews. Like they put them on Trackman, they go through all the numbers, stuff like that. If we were to go down that route, I think we would do it still more a little bit our style of just kind of saying from your average golfer what our take is on the equipment. I don't see us diving into, nor do I see it really benefiting you guys. Or we lost Mike for a second. Or really benefiting you guys if we were to put ourselves on things like Trackman because we don't hit as consistently as some of these other guys. That said, if you guys do want to see that, like I guess just equipment reviews from, your average golfer's standpoint, it is definitely something we could explore. I think we could have a little bit of fun with that. So give us that feedback and let us know. I see Mike's got the Bumblebee there.
Well, John asked Mike, what Bumblebee shaft, what are the specs on it? And then Bryce commented, it's a hazardous yellow 65 gram, I believe, counterbalanced.
Bryce is hired too. We're going to hire Bryce too. Yeah.
Bryce, it's a 76 gram.
Bryce, you're fired.
I'm going to put the specs. I don't know if you can see that.
I'm kidding, buddy.
I don't know. It's probably
blurry. We see that.
Low spin, 76 gram. I love this bad boy. And I love the club.
76 gram. That seems heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You got that, beast of a boat.
That's not too heavy. My iron shafts are 115 gram. I don't think it's that's too heavy. Here's a good question.
I'm 65 on the Fuchikura.
There you go. So it's not that heavy. So following up on that question for the what do you call it? If we were to do some club reviews. I'm sorry. I'm just scrolling through it. I missed where the name was, but someone was asking. Bryce asked if we could do that type of a content being sponsored. And one thing that I will say is, especially working with Titleist from the get-go, they have been awesome about saying we want you guys to continue to do whatever you do. So we had said that at the get-go. They said, can we? What's your thoughts on reviewing other clubs, stuff like that? They're like, no. They're like, if you stop that, you wouldn't be yourselves. So that's not even a thought. Like there's no issues there. And it's just another reason why we love working with them. But in all seriousness, too, we talked about that earlier, Mike. Now more than ever, feel really grateful for the sponsors. The fact that everybody's struggling right now. And the fact that they continue to be supportive, it just shows how, it just shows how much, like I said, this is a small world, the golf industry, and we all kind of help each other. And it's really cool to see them do that.
Yeah, it definitely is. Duke says no club reviews. There's enough out there. Don't waste your time. I want to see other content. Fair enough.
That's it. I'm just saying, there's no way we're going to have it where it's the right thing for everybody, but I want to get the general feel on it. And we'll see. Again, our North Star is always, if it's something we want to see, it's what we make. So that's what we kind of end up going with. But let's see here. Ronnie, question here. Will says, big guy to big guy. Let's get out there and get a new segment going, reviewing course hot dogs. Dogs at the turn.
That's his thing. He always a dog at the turn.
Twist his arm. Why don't you? Yeah.
Got to be more than one dog on the turn. I'm at least two dogs on the turn, at least.
Yeah. Bryce said, "Fire me, go ahead." It's handcrafted. Yeah, it took me like 4 weeks to get this shaft. You got yours way before mine. Mine was coming in from I don't even know.
Yeah,
it was special order.
Well, mine it's actually one of the stock options. The smoke.
That's right. You got the hazardous smoke, right?
Yeah. Leave it to Mike. He's got to have the special yellow shaft.
Gotta be different. Would be awesome if you guys can get some content with Tour Pros in the future. Definitely working on that for sure. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for the podcast this week. We've got PGA Tour winner Lanto Griffin on the show. Mm-hmm. And we hope to do more in-person stuff. We had hoped to do a bunch of stuff when, the Open rolls around here at Wingfoot, but this whole year, the whole schedule is thrown. So who knows?
Thrown off.
I can't wait to film that the sandwich challenge. I can't wait.
That's going to be good. So that's an idea we have. We're going to see if we can finish a par 5 with no carts. Frank and I have to hole out tee to green while Ronnie finishes a Sparrow's Hero. I guess an Italian hero.
Yeah, full size.
The Paisano on the 12-inch Semolina. It's not an easy task, people. That bread is
No.
hard, and it's huge.
Yeah.
So I'll be in the car trying to finish the 12-inch sandwich while they go tee to green, no carbs.
That's going to be pretty epic. It's going to be epic.
If you got money, put it on me.
Well, you can't gamble on anything else right now. So.
Right.
We could play poker.
You could do online poker. I got the stock market here on my left. You could do that as well.
That's just gambling as well. You might as well.
Yeah.
Where was that one? Aiden says, ever play in North Carolina? I haven't. Frank, you haven't. We were supposed to go there in 2 weeks to Pinehurst, but we had to postpone it.
Yeah.
So we will get there. We will definitely get there.
We're now hoping for May for Pinehurst, but I still think that's a little bit aggressive. We'll have to see. Ryan says the yellow shaft is anti-divot for Mike. I don't know. It's not working then.
I have many divots with my driver. Collab with Tommy Fleetwood. Mike doing his impersonation would be epic. It was so bad. I have the worst. I cannot do accents of other. Frank does them pretty well. I'll give him credit. He did a good one in Scotland.
I pulled one out when I was driving in Scotland. Yeah.
That was like 9 out of 10 right there.
I don't think I can cue that one up right away.
No. Do a par 10 golf hole. Jeez. That would be pretty wild. We could probably pull that off on that par 3 course at West Hills. Just like stretch it from one hole for like other side, just make it a par 10.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Ron, I thought you were on the diet. No, Ron is still on a diet, Bryce. He says he's down 25 pounds or so. Philly's ripping you, man. He has 6 bags and 412 golf clubs. There's no solid setup that works.
That's good. I'm glad he got you to laugh. That's great.
Oh, man.
All right. Well,
what happened? What, are you cutting us out?
No, we can keep going a little bit here. Let's see. Here. I'm trying to keep track of all the questions rolling in. Do you have any questions that came in through the group, Mike? Because I don't see the Facebook group on here.
I don't have it.
I don't want to miss out on those guys.
Let me go in there real quick.
You haven't been in there. There's probably 722 questions.
I know. We gave him one job.
You know what?
That's all he had to do.
I'm fired now.
He's fired.
This is Golficity Live. Oh man, there's 15. All right, hold on.
15 questions. Where have you been?
Oh my God.
We've answered a bunch already. Louis said, "How do I get your podcast?" We got that already. Ben said, "Red Course opens April 1st."
That's Beth's page. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Some of these are just not questions. They're just like, "Hello, hey guys." All right, cool. So we're all caught up there. I'm rehired, man. I don't think I'd be able to get unemployment, right now anyway. If I got fired here,
we need producer Jeremy to keep us, on track here.
Do you guys like attack angle path and stuff like that? I don't really know.
I don't have. I mean, with the last time we would have got those numbers, would have been probably the last fitting that we did. So if you were to go back and watch that fitting for the TS driver fitting with Kevin Sprecher on the channel, a lot of those could be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce says, "Mike, come join me in the fired booth." So 2 people have been fired already on this live.
Never good. Never good.
Yeah. Anything else, you guys? Anybody else catch any good? I guess golf, something to watch while this has all been going on. Like we talked about before, that the wide world of golf is what I've been watching. That and Masters replays. I also watched
Caddyshack 4 times.
You've watched 4 times? Is that your all-time golf movie?
Oh, yeah.
Caddyshack?
Not even close. It's in my top 10 all-time movies, period. Yeah.
There you go. I watched the Putt Putt Championship on ESPN Ocho.
I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that when I was researching before my Golficity interview. I caught that somehow. I was like, oh, look at this. That was amazing.
Dude, I was in tears. It was like, I felt like I was watching one of those parody documentaries when the one guy was talking about how he gets too intense out there. And it's like the most tame thing you've ever seen in life.
Oh, it was great.
I love it when they make it intense. It just adds to it. It's kind of like our little putt off challenge.
Yeah.
That we did.
But it's wild. These guys are just, they're getting a hole in one on every hole,
Reminds me of watching some of like the spelling bee, like some of the spelling bee contestants that get all like fired up and stuff like that. It was just a great video.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Look at the name of this YouTube channel: 5,000 subscribers with 3 really bad videos challenge. What? How's quarantine? No, it's as good as it can be.
Was it? We're at what, day 17 now, something like that. That we've been working from home.
I've been in here since March 13th evening after we left that day. Yeah. HQ, that was it.
I don't know where everybody's tuning in from, but New York and New Jersey are still in pretty tough shape, so we try to stay indoors as much as we can.
John, real quick, favorite New Jersey course, all you guys so far. I've had the good fortune, and Frank, you played Baltusrol with me. I played Somerset Hills, but I think Baltusrol, by far in the state of New Jersey has been probably the greatest course. Just not only the course itself, but the history and the ghosts and the stories and being in the clubhouse and all that stuff.
Yeah, how do you not? I mean, and speaking of like ghosts, one that I really liked Atlantic City Country Club. I liked being in that locker room. That was cool.
Great track.
And then I'm just a big fan of Ballyowen. I love that course. I love that real link style, and the fact that course can play so differently depending on the day you play it. You play that course with wind, it's one of the hardest courses you're going to play. Without it, you can score out there.
No question.
For me, it's Manasquan River Country Club.
There you go.
Okay.
Manasquan River is gorgeous, right on the water. Just the whole back
beautiful.
9 is just very scenic. It's good, and also Tom's River Country Club. It's only 9 holes. They move the tee boxes so that you're coming at the hole from a different angle on the back 9. But they have some really good picturesque views too. That's a cool spot with the lighthouse and everything.
Oh yeah. Have you ever played Spring Lake Country Club? No, nobody.
No.
I thought you were talking to Ronnie. You know everywhere I've played because I've played with you.
Oh yeah. I was talking about. And Ron,
I was shaking my head. I guess you couldn't see it because I lost.
No. Sea Oaks is another one I like as a public course, as far as
Sea Oaks is great. Like
my favorite, like Jersey Shore, like vacation course for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Paul Jarrett says Ronnie has so many putters, and none of them could win the putt out challenge.
I don't have a putt out in my house to practice, so let's get that straight right away.
That's great.
I'm gonna put my putter away now.
There it goes. It's been retired.
Architects.
Yeah, architects for sure.
This is great.
He only likes that because he wants to tell everybody how he got a hole in one there. I know what he's doing.
He's setting you up.
He's setting it up.
Setting you up.
Set up there.
So we won't even talk about it then. D. O'Brien wants us to come out to Ireland. I think we're going to be coming out there hopefully in the next couple of years. That's on our list. That's right up there in like the top 3 locations.
We were like this close to putting it on the agenda for this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now everything's been bumped, so whatever.
I got to make sure I'm a part of that trip to Ireland. My mom's a Duffy. I actually got 25% of this is Irish, believe it or not.
Really?
I want to come so bad. I want to go to Ireland, yeah.
You're going to need 3 or 4 checked bags for all those clubs. Roddy's getting sick of the club jokes. All right, moving on.
Whatever. It's good.
Let's see here. Yeah, we hope to get out there for sure. What other courses did we want to play this year? I mean, we can dream, right? We can dream about being back out there.
Well, Wingfoot was going to be played on May 5th for U.S. Open Media Day, and obviously that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
What else did we want to get out to? Where else did we want to go? We wanted to do more of the Atlantic City. We wanted to put together like this Jersey Shore tour where we play a lot of the courses down there.
I still want to do the Jersey Shore tour so bad.
We're going to do it.
There's so many great courses down there.
So many.
I mean, we could hit maybe like 7 great courses and put together a killer series like the Scotland series.
Well, we got to do it in guinea peas.
Yes.
Do it with all the whole.
We're gonna spike the hair up. We're gonna get J. Paul D to come along.
Jeez.
Yes.
What else?
I just unsubscribed.
Yeah, you did. That's how you know the comment was that bad. Ronnie, what new putters are you eyeing up? Mike Ryder asked. Anything? Or are you done for now?
Check out on Saturday. We got the new Inside the Leather, my Inside the Bag for 2020. My new vessel bag is the highlight of it. But I introduced my 3 putters for this year. I got
3 putters for this year.
The new Mizuno
this year.
My boy Blue, and then I also have actually they're upstairs in my other bag full of putters. I got the Ping Answer 2 black, nice with the Rosemark grip, and I also have the very first Scotty Newport 2 that I bought with the hopes of doing the business of taking the paint out and reselling them to make money, which was on the last episode. But what I did was I ended up keeping it. I stripped the paint off, looked how it looked. So I got 3. So I'm okay for this year. I'm good. Plus 72 of them around the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are the 3 in the rotation this year.
The 3 putters in the rotation this year.
A couple bad rounds, I switch it up.
That's it, I guess.
Philly asked about Wild Turkey. Yeah, we played Wild Turkey a bunch of times. It was actually also included in the Iron Man. Right. We played there like 4 or 5 times. We actually filmed a whole bunch. They're on our YouTube channel. Come on, Phil. Not a real fan if you haven't seen those yet. Come on.
I love that. I love that Iron Man because you play those. You play that. You play Crystal Springs and you play Ballyowen. I mean, it's
Crystal
a day.
Springs is a great track.
Yeah.
Tough track. To elevate the undulation of the fairways is great. You're hitting the ball 2 feet above your feet.
Yeah.
And it's challenging, but it's a great track.
And I love that whole down the cliff.
That's awesome.
That's like a shot you don't get to hit in other places. That's something.
Frank Davis said, "Go ahead and get in the tanning booth, gents, for the Jersey Shore tour." Could you imagine us just getting dark spray tan?
I could see that being like the
I would do it.
intro.
I would do it. A heartbeat.
The intro is the 3 of us step out of a tanning booth and then right out to the golf course. Oh my God.
That'd be great.
I think people are going to get that humor, or they're going to think these guys got to get away from these guys. Let's see.
Bryce just watched the Iron Man with his mom this morning. The video. Thank you. That was fun. It was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
I was so sick after that. I had the stomach flu the next day. It just came out of nowhere. It had nothing to do with the actual event. It's just like I remember being sick to my stomach for like 2 days.
Ethan, who's now officially working here, he says, Wild Turkey is also where you announce YouTube Golf Day. Actually, was it Wild Turkey? No.
Fact check, Ethan.
No,
come on.
fact check. Oh, fired. Third person fired on this live stream.
And it was freezing that day.
It was freezing, and that was Crystal Springs. Yep.
Mike laying down in the rough. Yep.
Yeah. Mike disappearing into the rough. That was one of the hardest, I think, golf course setups I've ever played. Was Ridgewood when it was all set up for the Northern Trust. I mean, you went fairway and then immediately to the rough. No second cut, and then the rough would go 3-4 inches of like the thickest sod you've ever stepped in. And it was just like you thought you hit this great drive and it just rolled off the fairway. It might as well have rolled off the side of the earth. It's just like
but not only that, but when the holes were like 480-yard par 4s, but when you got to the green eventually, it was like you were putting on an ice skating rink. So like the whole experience was crazy. The coolest thing about that experience is they fed us all, the PGA Tour media, they fed us all Shake Shack before we went out. They had boxes of burgers and fries. They just filled us up.
Danger zone, unlimited Shake Shack, danger zone.
Crazy.
That's scary.
Davis brings up a good point. He says, "Hope you guys get the 18 birdies tournament going this summer." We do plan on doing the Golficity Virtual Open again. Usually we run that July 15th through August 15th. So fingers crossed that we're able. I mean, that the courses are open and people can get out there and log rounds. We had like 1,500 rounds logged last year. It was awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, it's really great. It's really good. Ethan said, "Yeah, I just wanted to be fired." All right, well, we got it. You both played well in the Ironman. We did. We shot some of the lowest. I shot the lowest scores of my life, 81. That was my best score ever.
That time of year is always like best for me. It's like the stride of the season, when you hit that like July-ish time frame, where I feel like the finally from like all of the winter dust is kicked off and you're starting to play well. And then you start to try to fix things and you start to play worse.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always.
Change of putter.
Yeah, change of putter
too.
Well, there's 3 rounds that day, Ronnie. So you have 3 putters.
Oh, I will definitely make it a point to use a different putter for each round.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bryce said Bay Hill's a dream of his. Don't think you understand how jealous I am of that. I mean, not only was it Bay Hill, but it was a pro-am at Bay Hill with Molinari. I mean, I don't think that experience could have gotten any better.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had a
18
first row
birdies, they
seat.
really did.
I'm jealous too. I didn't get to play.
Yeah, I owe you a caddy gig at some point.
Ollie asked if we're going to do a UK tour. Wales, England, Scotland, Ireland. Now that would be epic to do them all, you know?
Oh, wow.
Talk about divorced.
Yeah. It was,
Imagine that.
Yeah, it was tough enough selling it to the wives to go to England for YouTube Golf Day and then back to Scotland, 3 weeks later?
We went over the pond. That was nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But like we said, Ireland was the next one on our list, and we were hoping this year it's not going to happen with everything else, but maybe next year.
Any plans to come to Rhode Island? A bunch of nice courses in the Newport area. Maybe. Rhode Island is not far, guys. That's a quick drive.
Ryan says Dream Course. We're talking those Jersey courses. Ryan says Liberty National, another one that Mike's played.
Yep, got to play there. That was a great experience. Great course. Played it quite well too.
Yeah.
You could have been with Tiger or Rory. Maybe would have made Bay Hill a little better. Yeah.
I was going to say that too, but then I said
I thought that, but those guys, we wouldn't even, unless we were actually the CEO of MasterCard, we would have never had the opportunity.
Yeah. They do the draw, like the Pro-Am draw, but then Tiger's already off the board.
They're already axed out. Jason Day, they were all gone.
Yeah.
Ireland has the best courses. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure they have fantastic courses.
Yeah.
Midwest Tour, Ohio. There's another place I'd love to go out to. I'd love to get out there, play like Firestone or, I don't know. There's a lot of beautiful golf in Ohio, from what I hear.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of good food. There's a lot of good food up in Rhode Island. If we take it back a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Up to Providence, up there, get some good food.
Right. We got to get our priorities straight here.
We got to get some priorities.
And we can see your boy DJ Paulie Day.
God.
More unsubs.
That's the funny thing, real quick. The whole funny thing about the Jersey Shore, people from New Jersey. You watched it because it was like a train wreck ready to happen. Only one person on the show was from New Jersey, so don't give up the bad rap. It was called Jersey Shore because it was at the Jersey Shore.
Right.
But there's only one person from Jersey.
Do you know which one it was, Ron?
The situation, and I actually do think that I say it, that Sammy D was also the girl that was with Ronnie. So Sammy and the situation were the only two. The rest of them were all from.
He's a big fan.
Yeah, dude. He just rewound his DVR.
I like that, but he took it further. He's watching the Snoop J-Wow series now.
Yeah. Wow. Wait, who's the fan?
Listen,
wait a minute. Who's the fan, Mike? There he is. He's like, no, you took it to the whatever sequel this guy just named.
8 p.m. MTV Wednesday night. No,
jeez.
Do you think that? What else we got here? I'm trying to get off that topic real quick.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a nice move. Let's go to a new question.
Grayson asked if we think the Masters will be canceled or canceled till next year or just postponed. We started talking at the beginning of this about some of that. Latest rumors we're hearing, I still hear the most rumors I've heard is October for a reschedule.
They can't cancel it.
No, you can't cancel it. But
now
they're saying
have a year with no winner.
This morning's news was November 12th.
November 12th, right. Masters. I'm still saying the most rumors I've heard volume-wise has been October, and I've heard the rumors that a lot of the hotels around Augusta are selling out for October. So there's chances that somebody knows something, but we heard just today some rumors of November 12th through the 15th for the Masters. So
I might just book a hotel for the entire 2-month period.
Yeah. Well, hotel rooms in Augusta probably go for like ridiculously cheap except for that week. So a lot of great suggestions. Yeah. A lot of great suggestions of different places to play. And really what this does is, Mike, it just makes me itch more to travel. It's killing me that we're stuck at home right now, but you got to do what you got to do. Like I said, I mean, it's a tough time. It is what it is.
You definitely have to do it. Mike says come out to Cleveland. Never been to Cleveland either.
Cleveland, I love it.
Go back to Cleveland. Cleveland, what movie is that from? Who can guess it?
Go back to Cleveland.
Major League.
No.
Shot in the dark. I have no idea.
One of these days, I'm going to get to the drive, chip, and putt, and this is going to be my ticket to the drive, chip, and putt right here.
There she is.
Yes.
This girl's got a 7-year-old golf swing like no other, and she works on it really well.
She does. She
So one
beats
day
you.
we're gonna get to Augusta. Yeah, she
My
does.
son
She
loves
really does.
putting, too.
Hey, Davis says
great.
he wants to see us play TPC Boston. That's another one that's actually, I guess, is it still technically on the agenda for this year?
It still is the FedEx Tour stop. Northern Trust is to be played there. So
They're going to
I'm
have a
hoping-
media day, and we're supposed to be playing it. So, Davis, if we play it, we will have a video.
TPC Riverbend near Cincinnati. Muirfield, that's another one over in Ohio.
Yeah, your buddy has a connection over there, right? You got a buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my good friends who grew up in Ohio lives out here now in Jersey, and he goes back home to see his family every now and then, and he plays a bunch of great golf when he goes out there, and he keeps talking about it. So
Yeah.
You got a guy.
Yep.
He's got a
Got a
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Got a guy on the inside.
All right, we got to start wrapping it because I gotta run. I gotta run out. But
Yep.
this Friday live is fun. I think maybe if this continues, maybe we'll continue these Friday lives.
I think so. It's fun. It keeps us going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well-
and, Ron, and good to have you back, Ron. It's been a while since I've seen you. I see Frank often, but I don't see you, Ron. So it's good to see you.
Same here, guys. This is good stuff. I'm down. I'll do this whenever. I'll do it tomorrow if you want. What do we do?
We'll just be live streaming now until quarantine is over. There you go.
Yes, every day for an hour from 2 to 3.
Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna say. I asked my wife. I was like, "Do you think it's cool if I just like invited a friend over and we sat in the backyard like 10 feet apart and just had like a drink and just talked to each other? Is that cool?"
Dude, that's
we're
totally
like, yeah.
cool. Don't you see like these videos of people all sitting like
Yeah,
at the end of their street in like a big
circle.
yeah.
All right. So maybe one day we can do it like that, and we could just have a beer or something soon because I think we're indoors for another 30+ days. So if you get the kids,
Easily.
we'll do it.
For sure,
Yep.
for sure. All right, listen.
Sounds good, guys.
Appreciate everybody who tuned in. Thank you for your questions. We had a lot of fun chatting with you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned because, like I said, the podcast you're not gonna want to miss the one that comes out on Sunday. We got Lanto Griffin, which is gonna be a lot of fun. Great conversation, and make sure you check out Ronnie Lanto. Yep. And a couple times during the podcast, a couple times I stuttered, and I think he thought I called him Alanto. I was like, Lanto. Whatever. Anyway, check out Ronnie's podcast too. Great episode this week. You're going to be doing a pod from home next week, right, Ron?
Yeah, we're gonna film it maybe 6 feet apart. Me and Philly book it out on my deck. Have a couple cocktails, and we're gonna talk about what's going on with the whole thing. And yeah, that should be
Excellent.
fun. Also, check out this Saturday my Inside the Bag. Let me know what you guys think. It's a sexy looking bag. No doubt about it.
It is.
Everything looks good. Whether I can use them or not, it's another whole story.
I love that he calls it Inside the Bag. It ties both names together. The what's in the bag.
It's
and
the
Inside
sequel to Inside the
brilliant.
Leather. Right. Just,
I mean, come on. There's a purpose for everything.
It's a
exactly.
brilliant move. I love it.
All right, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Like I said, you can get all of Ronnie's content, everybody's content in the Golficity app. Download it. Go to golficity.com/app. It's free. No excuses. Let's go. We'll see everybody again soon.